Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Thanks for stopping into my video here. So, what I wanted to cover real quick is just a topic that I've been discussing with some people, and I'm just going to keep this super short, sweet, and simple. And really, the goal is to just go over trading ES. And when I'm trading ES, I'm trading level to level is my main goal, but I'm also using other confluences that work within my trade plan. Now, granted, I'm not a perfect or amazing trader. I just know how to get in and make money and win some trades here and there. And then, of course, I have losing trades as well. So, but really, the goal, right, is to just kind of show you trading level to level what that looks like and how you can do it. And one of the main areas that I get my levels from are Adam Mancini and Rose mentions his name a lot, and she's the one who kind of put me on to him. And if you don't know Rose, she's in 8x Trades Discord server. I think her she has a Twitter. I think it's Fun Sized Rose or Rose 713 or something like that. Anyways, but she put me on to his levels, and really he has a newsletter that he releases for the S&P 500 for SPX/ES, right? This main focus here is for ES, for futures, right? So the thing that I do every day generally is I'll read this newsletter. Now, it is a very large newsletter. There's a lot of information in here, as you can see. But the main thing that I'm looking for is his supports and his resistances that he has marked out based on his charting. So, now, of course, besides these levels that he's marking out, he does go into how he finds these levels and what it looks like. Now, this looks kind of crazy, right? From a holistic view, but you can see here he does go into an overview of like, hey, here's how I'm finding these levels. You know, he has just basic, um, you know, line supports, trend lines, megaphone patterns, and things of that nature, right? Just from a very high time frame perspective. Is what is being shown here, and that's how he gets those levels. So, anyways, not to worry too much about that. The biggest thing is just jumping right into getting the levels. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is I think this newsletter is like 15 or 20 bucks a month or something. I'll pay the money all day. It's worth it because he's pretty spot on with a lot of the areas and levels of support. And once you start putting these levels onto your chart and you analyze and look, you'll see kind of how those levels are, you know, captured, right? Like how he's getting those levels. So the first step is to come in here and to copy the supports, right? This is super duper simple. I just copy all of these support levels. And then from here, I can go into my chart. Now, I've got a lot of stuff going on in this chart at the moment, but that's fine. I can just create a new, I'll just leave this one. It doesn't really matter. But the first thing is to go in here in the indicators and just type in Mancini Levels. And there's this one right here by Bit Janitor. You'll go ahead and grab that. And once you get those levels, you'll take your supports, put your supports in there, go in here, grab these resistances down here, and put those resistances within here. Now, for me, I'm only worried about the major areas. Maybe you want to look at the minors, but there's already a lot of noise in this. So what I do for the minors is I just turn this all the way down, right? For each minor, these are resistances. And then the range fills, I turn these down as well because I'm only just worried about the major levels. I don't really care about the range fills. I just want the levels. So these majors, you can turn these up. Sorry about that. Major range, line color. So that's 20 and that's 50. I'm going to turn this up to 50. Boom. So we've got our major resistance, our major support, and then our major range line colors. And this minor, actually, sorry, I don't want that one. We only want the majors. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can change your line width and stuff like that, but I'm only really worried about this. So I'll just save that. And then from here, the biggest thing that I'm looking at is these ranges. Now, I've already marked out some of these with these lines that you can see right here, just for my own purpose. But the whole goal is to be able to have these levels on your chart and then use those levels with other confluences, right? So, as an example, maybe break a structure, market structure shifts, RSI, VWAP, right? Moving averages, right? This is a moving average, 21, right? So I use this a lot, the exponential moving average 21 with trend lines, bull bear flags, and then also the levels. I would say that's probably my main area of how I trade. And then of course also I'm using like higher time frame fair value gaps and things of that nature. So like 15-minute fair value gaps, 5-minute fair value gaps, stuff like that. So really the goal, right, is like if we go, we can kind of look at how some of these already played out because these levels he's already has marked, you know, a day prior to the market opening. So if we look at, Wednesday here, today's Thursday, right? Wednesday close was around, 4 p.m. around here, right? And then we had the earnings and stuff. And then from here we get these levels. And really today it was just a matter of, here's our Asia London session, and then here's the New York Open, which is about right here. And I'm just going to go on a really small time frame. Let's go over to the New York Open, which is right here, right? So if we just mark this New York Open, I'm just going to put a rectangle around it, around here, right? That's our New York Open. Okay, so I just got an alert. Anyways, those are some levels I had marked out. So on New York Open, right, we noticed that we opened up, we came up and we touched this 56.50, and then we came down to these levels down here. Now these aren't levels from Mancini. These are just Globex levels, so London low and Asia lows, which typically we would go to take out. And we did take those levels out, as you can see here, the London low and the Asia low, and then we bounced up. So that's also another confluence I use, is those Globex levels. But secondary from that, you have the major resistance levels right here marked in red. So as an instance, right, market opened right here. We came in right around 9:30, 9:40. We made this high here right over this 56.50 level, and then we came back down and took out those lows. From here, as soon as we took out those lows, we can notice that this London low here acts as an area of support, right? This right here. So as soon as we have that area of support and that confluence, we can say, okay, great. What's going to happen from here, right? Maybe we have a moving average that we're crossing right here, as you can see. And then from there, the main focus is, all right, what are the levels that we're looking for? The level is kind of like my pivot point, essentially. So I can say this level right now is an area of resistance, and if we break that area of resistance, then it becomes a level of support. It's a support resistance flip, right? So from there we break that 56.50 level. Now we already have these levels in advance. So if we kind of rewind here, right, and we go back to New York Open around here, I'll just bring it to this area, right? We'll just go kind of like right where we kind of go to break it. And we notice that, right, this level up here is our kind of area of from the 56.50 to, let me back out of there, 56.50 to 56.72. That's an area that we already know, right? So from here, if we look, 56.50 to 58.63 to 72. So 56.50 to 72 is really our area of interest based on where the price is right now. So what I can do is I can go in a replay and I can say, okay, now if you notice, we kind of get tricked out here a little bit, and it happens, right? You're going to go in a trade right here. You might have thought, oh, we're breaking that 50 level and we're going to come up. Well, you also have the confluence of other areas, like I said, but we'll just show this example real quick. So I go in here, right? We hit this bottom, we take out those lows. So now I'm going to just play this. We take out these lows, we come up, right? And I'm going to wait for us to break over this 50 level. So I'm watching it, boom, we're breaking it, we're breaking it. We come back down. Right now we're just wicking that level. We never had a body close over it. From here we go back up, and right there, I go long. Okay, down. All right, and then from here we're going to tap this 71. That's my goal, is the 71 level, right? We come back down. And then we're targeting 71. We have some retraces. Can be a little scary, right? And wait for it. This is that ADR area we chopped in, and boom. So right there. Now, granted, this is one mini. Starting out, you're not going to trade with a mini. You're going to trade with a micro, right? Typically 5 micros, which is half the size of one mini. But essentially here, as you can see, right, market opened, we chopped a little bit, we came down, we took out those previous session lows from Asia and London. We came up, we wicked. If you look right here, this is important. We wicked over this level, meaning price wanted to go above it and then sellers pushed it back down. Without that body close over this level, that's not a confirmation. So from here, we watched price come back down, and then you can see we bounced off of, what is this? The London low. We bounced off a London low here, and then boom, we push back up. Now on this 1 minute, you can see we got that body closure right here over that 5650 level, which is a pivot point essentially, right? It's our area that price is technically supposed to pivot. And then now from here, you can kind of look at these other areas as levels of resistance, whether that be the Asia high, that could be an area of resistance, right here. And then also that London high, an area of resistance. And you can see that London high was an area of resistance right here. So we cracked the 5650, we came up, broke through here, tapped that London high, and then we rejected it, came back down, and then bounced off of London low, and then bounced back up and pushed through the London high on that second attempt, and then went all the way up here to that 5672 level. That is essentially that range target from 5650 to 5672. And it's as simple as that, right? Utilizing those levels, utilizing session highs and lows, and just kind of reading price and where it's going. So that's really what I wanted to cover in this video. I don't want to make it too much longer than this. I would just say, utilize those levels if you can, give them a try and see how it works for you. That's what works for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll leave it at that, and just drop a comment below if you have any questions, and make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Peace.